Have you guys ever bought anything because it had a natural label on it, or it was organic, or even cruelty-free? Guilty! Or if you're like Mia and I and you went through like severe cases of acne, finding skincare that was either dermatologically tested or even non-comedogenic. What if we actually told you that most of these skincare labels that you see on a lot of beauty products actually have no backup behind it?
So here's the thing, they're not all bad. It's just that you really have to understand what they actually mean, and sometimes they're not exactly what they slap on to mean. Today we're going to share with you the most well-known labels that you see on skincares, shampoo, makeup, and what they actually mean and whether they're right for you. Natural, organic, cruelty-free, dermatologically tested, fragrance-free, and non-comedogenic.
Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then also hit the all notifications so that every time we come out with a new video, you guys learn a little more.
Organic. Now we see that a lot in our products nowadays. Did you know there are actually 3 different kinds of organic? 100% organic, just organic, and there is made with organic products. Did you actually know they're all different? If you see anything that claims to be 100% organic, then yes, the entire product is made up of all organic products. So next, if you see a product that just says organic, it means that it must contain some sort of additive like coloring or something that is not organically made. However, that actually excludes salt and water. Last but not least is made with organic ingredients, which means this product contains some or a little organic products. However, to have the label of having organic products, you have to have at least 70%. So that is still predominantly the majority of the product, but it's definitely not 100% organic. So basically the first 2 are what you normally see on a lot of products and they will advertise heavily, whereas the last one is something they don't really advertise and not really proud of, but people might say, yes, it contains organic or natural products.
Next one is non-comedogenic or non-acnegenic, or even oil-free. So if you guys have blemishes or you've gone through acne or you just have problematic skin or even cystic acne, you'll probably have gravitated more towards products that had these on the labeling, because that was definitely me. But here's the thing, it once again doesn't mean a lot. So let's break it down a little. What is comedogenic and non-comedogenic? So comedogenic ingredients are basically ingredients that tend to clog your pores. So non-comedogenic is obviously ingredients that do not clog your pores. And you see this on a lot of sunscreens and a lot of moisturizers and creams. So with non-acnegenic, it's basically the same thing, but it claims that it won't cause acne. So I guess a lot of this comes down to ingredients, right? So can you actually trust this label? Frustratingly, no. Why? I trusted you. I gave you my money. So if a brand comes up with a product like a sunscreen or a moisturizer, puts that on the label, even if it does cause acne, which it very well could, no one's going to find that company. No one's going to test and see whether this is actually true or not. When it's tested, it could be non-pore clogging for one person, but something that clogs my friend's pores, maybe it works really well for me. So if you think about it, that means even the greasiest, oiliest type of cream could still cause you breakout, but it will still have non-comedogenic or non-acnegenic on the label. So if you're wondering, so what ingredients are pore clogging? Natural ingredients like cocoa butter, which are natural oils, but sometimes they can be the worst offenders that come in many organic skincare lines, or even coconut oil. And then there's other natural oils like olive oil, lanolin, which are mildly comedogenic, kelp, benzoic acid, algae extract, wheat germ oil, shea butter. So if you think about it, actually any ingredient can clog your pores. It really just depends on your skin. Because if you have dry skin, a lot of these oils are needed to restore the oils that you lack, right?
Okay, so you guys know I love this word natural because I love to try and solve problems naturally first. So when I immediately see products that contain natural, I am drawn to this. You think about natural, you think of people walking into the fields and plucking green, beautiful leaves from their gardens and then just putting into a jar. No, that's not actually how it goes. With the natural label, it's actually quite loose. A lot of products can label natural as long as they have some ingredients that is natural. So there could be products that are chemically based or lab made in there, but because they have 1 or 2 components that's natural, they could have natural in their label. So if you do want 100% natural products, then look for this logo. This is actually certified by the Natural Production Association. The Natural Products Association is the third party that certifies where the product is made from natural ingredients and has no chemical based or no lab made materials. So the best way is to actually look at the list of ingredients in the product. However, also keep in mind, natural doesn't always equal the best or the better option, because some people prefer chemical based products because they want results and want to see them, and they maybe are okay with those synthetic made ingredients that are going to give you better results. So it doesn't have to be natural all the way. It's definitely a personal preference and definitely based on your skin condition as well.
Cruelty-free or not tested on animals. All right, so here's a big one. We're not actually going to go into whether it's a good thing or not, whether brands have this cruelty-free or not tested on animal logo, but we are going to tell you that there are actually 3 different categories and what they actually mean, because it is a little on the gray side. So the 3 different types that you may commonly see are cruelty-free international, cruelty-free, and not tested on animals. So these are not the same thing. They're actually all separate non-profit organizations. And first is Cruelty-Free International. This program is called the Leaping Bunny, and it's recognized internationally. To get this certification, companies or brands need to set up supplier monitoring systems to make sure that all the procedures meet the requirements. And then there's a mandatory auditing process which requires brands and companies to show and also submit proof of documentation. So it's not just the brand, it's also their suppliers. And then the last kind of step is that brands also have to pay a fee. So this allows Cruelty-Free International to actually run its audits and run its tests. So this one is probably the more legit of all 3 of them, unlike the next one we're going to go to, which is PETA. For brands to actually get this little cruelty-free bunny on their packaging or any of their products, all they need to do is go online, do a little 8-question test, and then sign along the dotted line saying that there is no animal testing. But there's actually no checkup or no testing that's actually done by PETA to fact check whether these companies are actually not testing on animals. It's more of just kind of like based on trust. Basically, any brand who wants this on their packaging can more or less get it. What do you guys think? Would you really trust this process that it's kind of just giving them benefit of the doubt? So to wrap up PETA's one, not that I don't trust it or we don't trust it, it's just that there's just a lot of lack of proof. And the last one that you might have seen is the Not Tested on Animals bunny. That's based in Australia, but because they have some international presence, you might have seen some of this label on like some US brands as well. So their program is called the Choose Cruelty-Free program, and it requires you to sign a legally binding document, and all applicants must also provide a written documentation that's proof showing all raw ingredients that are used in the products, and also make sure that these ingredients are not tested on animals. And the CCF also requires that every year that it gets retested just to make sure. Anything else, or if you see any other sort of bunny with a text, these are all fake. And a lot of brands actually reproduce this to like trick people. And the thing is, there is no law that like prohibits it. So a lot of brands will kind of worm into this loophole and make their own little logo to try fool people. The US doesn't actually require brands to do any sort of animal testing. It really just is up to companies and brands to do it on their own if they have the resources. But the thing is, in China, every single beauty product has to be tested on animals. And even if US brands or any like global brands were to want to sell their products in China, they also have to go through this process of animal testing. So even though it is cruelty-free or not tested on animals somewhere in Australia or somewhere in the US, once it enters China, it will be tested. And that's just the difference in regulation. The takeaway of this cruelty-free topic is that you should just be a little bit more mindful and don't completely trust in everything that you see. So it's more about knowing the facts and then making a well-informed decision.
Okay, the next one is fragrance-free. It's actually one of my scariest things because I love fragrance products. I love how everything smells nice on your skin. Fragrance-free means that there is no added fragrance into the product. So they normally have something that's naturally scented like an oil. A lot of the times it's just from the natural ingredients that's in the product. So one of the most common artificial fragrance added is called phthalate. Sometimes it could just be added chemicals or things like that just to make you smell pretty and nice. However, unscented products means something completely different. It actually might have products in there that is actually giving you a scent or masking an unpleasant scent. So it is actually not a fragrance-free product at all. So sometimes it's best to have a clear look at the label. When it's labeled unscented, you might be actually putting on more chemical-based products on your skin as opposed to something that says fragrance-free. You just have to be more wary when you look at things that says unscented.
Okay, next one is dermatologically tested or tested by dermatologists. So the thing with dermatologically tested is that it does test on human participants. So when you see products that are like 98% of people who use this found it was anti-wrinkle or reduced fine lines, and then it goes down like 95% of these people saw reduced age spots, and then it goes to like, and then 92% saw there was some drastic change. So this is generally the statements that come out of dermatologically tested. And do we even know that they stand behind these products? No. It just kind of makes the consumer or make the person looking at it feel like a little bit more safe. But if you think about it, wouldn't you think that most of the products that are on the shelves are tested before they go on the shelf? When they do say that it's tested, it's usually on a patch of skin. It's called a patch test on the back. And this is just to test whether there will be any reactions to it. But once again, everyone has different skin types and they will react differently to certain ingredients and things like that. So even if it is reacting on one person or causing one person to be irritated, it might not mean that it is for you. Once again, you have to take this with a little grain of salt. So I hope you guys learned a thing or two in this video. I know it was very dense on facts. This is just what we came up with in our research process. There is a lot of other ground to cover when it comes to things like packaging and labeling, but we hope that we can create more mindful consumers with you guys, because knowing what you're putting onto your face and how it's reacting to your face and what's actually causing like irritations and things like that is really beneficial. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any comments or questions, leave it down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!